The Art of Surpassing Everyone Without Speaking. Carl Jung. If you want to know the truth of your heart, if you want to understand how, in today's world, you can live life strong and clear, holding on to the truth, then subscribe to Memorable Stories. Because every upcoming video will show you the truths that can help you avoid being used by others and recognize your real value. Have you ever found yourself in a conversation where, even after saying everything from your heart, it felt like you still lost? Have you ever felt that heavy knot inside, as if every word spoken pushed you further from your inner strength? Perhaps you are surrounded by people who make noise, dominate conversations, drown out others, and crush the environment with fake confidence. And maybe you've believed that staying silent is weakness, as if not replying is defeat, as if not speaking your mind is retreat. But what if the truth is the opposite? What if real power is not in speaking, but in the ability to remain silent? One of the world's philosophers, often misunderstood, saw this truth long ago. He said, "Those who speak the most reveal their weaknesses the most. Those who chase after convincing others have already lost internally." We were taught to fight, argue, defend, as if every word is a battle for truth. But Carl Jung shows us another path, a soft yet profound path. For him, silence is not absence of voice, but present power. Silence confuses, it weakens. It makes a person stand face to face with themselves. This message is for those who are always overlooked, who feel no one understands them, who return drained after every interaction. Perhaps you've undervalued your silence. But today, I will show you that this very silence is your strongest weapon. True victory is not in winning arguments, but in the absence of need for an argument. Let's dive into Carl Jung's thoughts and see how power can be established without speaking. Why do we feel compelled to respond? Why do we react immediately? Why do we want others to agree that we are right? Why do we feel that staying silent makes us appear weak? Because we were taught from the start that protection of truth comes through noise, and silence is cowardice. But Jung says, this is all the voice of an inner fear, the fear of being diminished. This fear gives birth to the ego that perceives disagreement as attack, turns every word into a battle, and wants others to see us as right. Jung calls this herd morality, a life lived according to others' expectations. But he says real power is not in convincing others, but in not feeling the need to convince at all. When you start explaining, understand that you've already lost by entering the field. If you don't respond, how does power remain? Jung answers this through the concept of the Übermensch, a person who does not change the world through noise, but through presence. This person does not argue, does not get caught in emotional traps, observes, listens, understands, and speaks only when a single word is enough. Because they know, silence is also a language that does not plead, but leaves impact. Their silence is a strong wall against which others crash and fall. This silence is not weakness. It is full control over oneself. Why does silence disturb others? Because silence is a mirror, and many fear their own reflection. When you remain quiet, the other person begins to hear their own voice. They get entangled in their own words. Psychology says such silence feels like a verdict being passed. The other person becomes anxious, embarrassed, and fearful. They wonder, did I get caught? Did they see my weakness? Are they judging me? In this mental turmoil, silence becomes an invisible strike. Clever people thrive on your reaction. When you don't react, they crumble. Now it's time to make silence your weapon. First weapon: remain silent even when your heart is screaming. Second weapon: observation. But such observation that sees the hidden fractures behind words. Third weapon: pause, give silence space. The longer the pause, the more unsettled the other person becomes. Fourth weapon: be unpredictable. When you own your voice, people start fearing you. This silence is not inaction, it is active power. And when you speak, one word is enough to crush the whole argument. But there is a dark side. Some people remain silent, not from power, but from fear. Such silence is suffocation, weakness, and disrespect to oneself. People exploit this silence, and you end up losing. This is the silence that must die. Final lesson: the silence of the Übermensch. True silence does not bend, it commands. It is the moment when a person has become master of themselves. Jung says, living in submission is disrespect to life. Now it's time to redefine your silence, not from fear, but with dignity. If you are ready, make this promise to your heart today. I choose the silence that commands respect. If this video helped you understand the power of silence, share your thoughts in the comments. And for more inspiring content in the future, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so every new video reaches you immediately. Subscribe and elevate your thinking.